Hi there everyone! I am so thankful and grateful after a brief hiatus to be back here chatting with you all today. It has been a really rough past month or so, and I've kind of, through the pain, come to a bit of a personal reckoning. So that is something I'd like to get into talking about today. But also for those of you who watch this channel for money advice and living on less, this time of illness, I've actually discovered one major area that can be a huge money zapper. And I never even knew about it until I got sick. I can't wait to share this all with you, so let's get going. So a while ago, I started to get, all I could describe it as is a really bad migraine. Someone with post-concussion syndrome, I'm used to migraines, so I didn't really think anything of it. And it sort of snowballed into really intense pain, but only on one side of my face, the left side of my face. And this wasn't like your run-of-the-mill pain, like an earache or a toothache. It was like I was being electrocuted or stabbed, like over and over and over again. No end, no breaks, just constant, horrible, excruciating pain. I couldn't sleep through it. I couldn't talk. I could barely walk. It was just terrible. And I found myself landed at our local emergency department at the hospital, where I was subsequently misdiagnosed 3 different times. So I kept going back in because the pain was not getting any better. And finally, I was diagnosed properly. And it took me really advocating for myself and telling the doctor on call, listen, you don't understand, like this pain is worse than labor. And I had some horrible labors. It's why I only had 2 biological children and we ended up adopting so many other children. This was worse. This was the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. And my mother, who is a very smart woman, said, Jen, I think you have shingles. She's had shingles a number of times. And when I went into the emergency department, they were like, you don't have a rash. It's not shingles. I mean, this pain is worse than most anybody would ever experience with shingles. And it was not until where I woke up one morning and I had a rash all over the side of my face. It was shingles, but it wasn't just like your typical shingles, obviously, because most people who get shingles, they do have a lot of pain, and I've heard it by a number of people described as if you have like a really, really bad sunburn or pulled muscles or something like that. And this wasn't it. This was intense, like worst nerve pain you could ever have. But there was a really brilliant female doctor who saw me and she was like, Jen, actually there can be a rare complication to shingles. It's called Ramsay syndrome, where your nerves just totally overreact. And I actually lost my hearing in my left ear, and I had some temporary paralysis in my lips and my cheek where, you know, I was talking like this. So that's essentially what happened to me. And I was and still am on a crazy amount of medication. I still am experiencing pain, but today I woke up and I said, darn it all, I want to get back to my regular life. I want to film something for my friends on YouTube. And so I got up and I put makeup on for the first time in a month. And if I start to slur my words or you notice that my face is looking puffier than normal, it's just because I'm still going through this a bit. But I kind of wanted to come on here because I can now talk where I couldn't for about 3 weeks there. And I wanted to discuss some of the things that have changed in me through this whole experience. And also, as I mentioned before, some money saving advice. First of all, a question for all of you. Have you got shingles before, and what was your experience? I would love to know in the comments below, so let's have a chat about it. Also, if you've never had shingles before and you had chickenpox as a kid, get into your doctor's office and demand the shingles vaccine if you are an adult. right now they only recommend it for people who are age 50 plus, but I know my sister, who is younger than I am, has gotten it several times. I have now gotten it, obviously, and the thing is, you can't get the vaccine until it's been a year after you got shingles. So what I would say to you is spend the $100 odd that it costs to get that vaccine and seriously demand that you get it. The doctor who diagnosed me said that the youngest she has seen shingles in is age 7. So it's definitely not something that only goes after those age 50 plus. It is something that goes after somebody who has a weakened immune system. So that is key, and that's part of what I want to talk to you about right now. And basically what happened to me, and I truly believe the reason I had such a horrible overreaction in my nerves, was that my system and my body was so run down from the past year of stress during this pandemic that my body just said, you know, put the brakes on, and it was like, we can't do this anymore, Jen. The systems in your body cannot keep up with the stress that you are experiencing, and it manifested in this most painful experience of my life. And it taught me some things. The first thing it taught me is that I needed to refocus my life and my priorities. So basically, I am someone who likes to do it all herself. I do not like asking for help. I don't like letting any balls drop. And when I was dealing with a pandemic, like a lot of people, I think, probably looked at me and thought, well, what's to be stressed about? Jen's a stay-at-home mom. You know, she's not a nurse working on the front lines. But you know what? A lot more than just nurses on the front lines have experienced like untold stress this past year. Doing YouTube from home and keeping up my website, that's actually about 20 or 30 hours of work a week. So I'm not just a stay-at-home mom. I'm doing a lot of other things, and I'm raising 6 children. And then that was stressful enough. And then throw in there all of the added stress of everything going on with COVID. And I think it was just too much for me. Doing at-home schooling with all of my kids was a lot. Dealing with some losses that my adopted children went through this year, it was a lot emotionally for us all to handle. And there were certainly some relational struggles that were causing me stress. I know in our area of Ontario, I mean, there are some major divisions happening during this whole pandemic. People who are maskers and anti-maskers, people who don't think things should be shut down and do think things should be shut down, people who don't want to follow the government's guidelines, people who do want to follow them. And in me, maybe most people are fine to have a good debate about that, but in me, it caused some very real anxiety, stress, hurt, and I felt a lot of brokenness in different relationships, and it just sent me into an emotional tailspin. We'll just call it that. And I was waking up every day, doing every day, and I would say to Andrew every night when I went to bed, I'm just so unhappy. I have nothing to be happy about. Every day is just a billion different things that I have to be responsible for, and I'm literally doing nothing that makes me happy. And I'm sorry to be like a Debbie Downer, but I think there are a lot of you watching right now, a lot of my viewers who know exactly what I am talking about, because you are right there too. And you're just, you know, head barely above water every day, trying to get through each day desperately, and there is no joy in it. So enter crazy, weird shingles complication and horrible untold pain, and I was laid out flat, unable to do anything that I'm responsible for. And what it taught me is this: it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to let somebody else do all the things. It's okay for my husband and kids, or even some of my other loved ones, to cook me a meal. It's okay to let somebody else do the laundry. It's okay for an older sibling to walk the younger siblings to the bus stop if I can't do it. It's okay to let somebody else do it. And you know what? People aren't gonna hate me and resent me for asking them to do something to help me. I think I'm just a pleaser and I feel like I need to do everything. And during the whole time of the pandemic, I think that was reinforced because sometimes I would ask for help, maybe from the wrong places. So I would ask different people for help to lift some of my burdens, and what I would get in response was, I'm too stressed, I can't do that, I can't help you, sorry. And so now what I've learned is that I need to be honest in my responses sometimes. When I reach out and ask for help, it's okay for me to say, I understand, okay, that you can't help, but what you need to know is I can't do it either. It's too much for me. It's too much for me to always be doing this and everybody always telling me I don't have the time to help, I can't help you or whatever, because then you become someone that's totally overloaded. So I am super rambling, but I think what I have discovered about myself and decided going forward is that I'm going to be saying no to a lot more things, and I'm going to be saying yes to more things that do bring me joy. So as I've been recovering from my pain, just some of those simple things, creative outlets especially for me, are what I really do enjoy. Looking after my plants, sitting with my kids and just having a conversation as opposed to running here, there, and everywhere. I'm going to do more of those things and less of the things that are zapping and draining me all the time. Okay, I told you at the beginning of the video that I was going to share with you something that I learned about saving money that was kind of a big deal. And maybe this will apply to your life. So when I first got sick, I did some online grocery ordering. Click and collect is what they call it in our area, from our local Loblaws store. And what I found out is that this is a way, way, way more expensive avenue for buying your groceries and your essentials. Now, perhaps you have read different articles and studies online that have said that you spend less when you do online ordering than if you're physically in the store. I have not found that to be true. I'm someone in the store who shops with a list. I don't get distracted by a million different things. I just shop the sales, I shop my list. And when you are having to order online, what I have found is it's very hard to compare items then of different brands. You don't see physically in front of yourself a shelf showing you all the different brands and all of their different prices. You don't see the sale stickers. You don't see the sale bins where your soup is on sale for 99 cents. You don't have that online. And also, stores that offer online grocery shopping tend to be the more expensive stores. At least in my area, we don't have a big Walmart superstore where you can get your groceries online. And our budget grocery stores definitely don't offer curbside pickup or ordering online. You have to physically go to the store. So that left me with the local Loblaws store, and their produce especially is about double the price. No exaggeration, it's double the price. So you can see that my grocery bill was like easily way, way more. It was about $100 more a week than when I would just go shopping myself. The other thing is I really depend on couponing. And if you haven't seen my couponing videos, I'll link those for you. But I couldn't figure out a way through the Click and Collect app to use my coupons. If you know how to do that, please let me know. I'll need to figure that out. But there's something about being in the store, having your physical coupons or your coupon mobile app, and seeing that thing on the shelf that just today was reduced and you have a coupon for it, you get a really good deal. Couldn't do that with online shopping. Also, they got my order wrong every single time, and they charge your credit card when you pick everything up. But obviously the people I had picking up, like, they're not gonna go through all my groceries and make sure every item was put in there. My credit card was charged for every item, but it comes home and it's missing toilet paper and Kleenexes and a bunch of the other things I had ordered that they charged me for. Now, I could have got on the phone and argued it with the store and tried to get my money back, But honestly, who has time for that? Especially if you're doing online ordering, it's probably because you don't have time for that sort of crap. So then that was just kind of a loss for me. I didn't get that money back. I just ended up spending more and then having to send my husband to the store to please get some toilet paper and Kleenex. So are you that person? Are you that person that's doing all your ordering online? Maybe it's because of the pandemic. Maybe you're just like a really busy person and you need to do that out of necessity. Maybe consider taking a few weeks and not doing any ordering online and just buy things physically in the store. And then compare your receipts and see which was cheaper for you, which actually saved you money. So I think it's just part of knowing yourself and knowing your habits, and you might be surprised by what you find out. I don't know, maybe you'll find out that the online shopping was cheaper for you, but I just wanted to challenge you, like maybe for a couple weeks, take a fast from online shopping and try to just buy things in a physical store and see how that plays out financially. So thank you so much for joining me today. All this time spent resting and not able to speak really got the creative juices flowing in my brain, and I have so many videos planned coming up that I cannot wait to film, and I can't wait to kind of get back in the saddle, so to speak, and exercise those creative muscles. And I'm really glad you're here and along for the ride. If you got any value out of this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That would really help me out and the channel. And as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you know when my videos come out. It's usually a couple a week. And I'm gonna pop some videos to the side here that I think you might enjoy, so you can just keep watching and we can have some fun together. We'll see you in the next video, everyone. For the least, this is Jen.